Some betrayals come softly, wrapped in words that sound like love. Others hit like lightning, shattering everything you thought was true. My name is Aisha Mwende. I'm 30 years old, and I live in Mombasa, Kenya. This is my story not just of heartbreak, but of awakening, of learning that love should never demand you abandon yourself. I met Pastor Terence when he came to the villages of Gans and Kinongo, preaching with reverence and inspiring admiration. He prayed beautifully, he preached with conviction, and when he spoke to me, I felt chosen, as though God had placed his words directly into my heart. What started as friendship slowly became something deeper. Over time, we became emotionally involved, and I knew I loved him. I was ready to build a future. But in public, I was introduced as just a friend. Only a few people knew the truth. I told myself to be patient. I told myself love requires understanding. Yet deep inside, something felt off. I would watch him step onto the pulpit in Gans church preaching about integrity, commitment, and holiness. Then afterward, we would meet quietly, away from everyone. He told me he loved me, but he never spoke clearly about marriage, never spoke about a future with certainty. The questions gnawed at me. Why did I feel hidden if I was loved? Why did my heart ache in the very relationship I cherished? Late one night, I could no longer ignore the truth. I decided to pay him a surprise visit in his village of Lunga Lunga, my heart pounding with fear and determination. The moment I arrived, I confronted him, and then it hit me like a storm. Pastor Terence was married, yes, married in Lunga Lunga, with 3 children. And when I confronted him about it, he said, calmly and without shame, that he wanted to make me his second wife. My stomach turned, my hands shook. That was not love. That was an abomination. It was betrayal not just of me, but of everything he preached. Everything he claimed to stand for: integrity, honesty, faith was a lie. In that moment, I realized something crucial. Not all men of God practice what they preach. Some wear holiness like a mask while their hearts remain corrupt. The weight of that truth broke me and freed me all at once. I returned to Mombasa, heart heavy but clear-eyed. For weeks, I wrestled with my grief, leaning on my friends Lillian, Wanjiku, and Kevin. But I knew I could not let his lies continue unchecked. I had to reclaim my voice, not just for myself, but for everyone who trusted him. The next Sunday, I went to Gans church. My heart pounded, but my resolve was steady. When Pastor Terence stepped onto the pulpit, I stood up. I told everyone the truth about his lies, his hidden family, and the false promises he had made. The congregation gasped. Some were angry, some confused, some in disbelief. But I didn't stop. I spoke about integrity, honesty, and how faith should lift people, not trap them in secrets. I spoke about self-respect, about the courage it takes to walk away from what's wrong, and the power of reclaiming your voice. Pastor Terence could not respond. His mask had fallen. I walked out of that church with my head held high, knowing I had reclaimed not just my dignity, but my life. In the months that followed, I focused on myself, my career, my dreams, my friendships. I realized that betrayal, while painful, had given me clarity. I learned that love should never hide you, never diminish you. And most importantly, I learned that the greatest power comes from standing in the truth, even when it shakes the world around you. I will always remember the lessons Pastor Terence inadvertently taught me, that some people wear holiness like a mask, that some words are empty, and that real strength comes from living with honesty, courage, and self-respect. Now, as I walk through Mombasa's streets, sunlight on my face, I am no longer just Aisha Mwende, the woman who was deceived. I am Aisha Mwende, the woman who chose herself, who spoke her truth, and who will never let anyone hide her in the shadows again.